As we begin the 21st century, our world is changing at an incredible pace. Through modern technology, we enjoy higher standards of comfort, convenience, and communication than ever before. But modern technologies also present many new problems. Stress and stress-related diseases, crime and other critical social problems, and destruction to the delicate balance of the environment. When we look to nature, we see a magnificent display of order and intelligence. Laws of nature that govern the forces in the atom, the structure of DNA, and all life in an intricately balanced ecosystem. And the evolution of the stars, from smaller than the smallest to larger than the largest, eternally evolving in perfect balance. As technology advances and stress grows every day, we feel increasingly cut off from this harmony of nature. What then can we do to reconnect on the inside with nature's intelligence? Now millions of people are practicing a simple technique to utilize the intelligence of nature that resides within us and are enjoying tremendous benefits.
Reduce stress, better health, clearer, more creative thinking, and happiness. My name is Mike Tompkins. On this program, we're going to explore the very practical benefits of the Transcendental meditation technique, a technique that restores the natural connection between individual life and nature's intelligence.
With the pace of change, the necessity to have subtler aspects of life, enhanced in the business environment, the ability to get along better with people, be creative and innovative, this is an excellent technique. It's the most powerful mental technique I know of.
Absolutely everything in my life has gotten better. Every aspect of my life, my interactions with people, my intellectual ability to understand things, and my grades have gotten a lot higher.
It's hard to imagine my life without that. I'm sure I wouldn't be as happy, as successful, or feel as fulfilled as I do without the regular practice of Transcendental meditation.
The Transcendental meditation technique is a powerful, scientifically researched technique to develop human potential. Over 5 million people around the world have learned the Transcendental meditation, or TM, technique. It's easy to learn and it's easy to practice. More than 6,000 medical doctors in the United States have learned the TM technique. Dr. Barry Charles is the Executive Director of the Physicians Association for Eradicating Chronic Diseases.
There's now over 600 scientific studies that have been conducted on the Transcendental meditation technique in all parts of the world at medical schools and other leading research institutions. And these studies show a wide variety of benefits that cut across all areas of concern to health: mind, body, behavior, environment. Certainly there's a large group of studies on specific diseases, but Transcendental meditation enlivens the inner intelligence of the body, and so that health is promoted from within. So we find that TM is extremely effective not only in treating disease, but also in the prevention of illness and also the promotion of longevity.
In the next half hour, we'll hear from some of the business executives, educators, students, and people of all ages and walks of life who are practicing the TM technique and enjoying better health, greater happiness, and success and fulfillment in their lives.
I work in a very challenging, fast-paced, quickly developing arena and industry. You have to make quick decisions. You have to think on your feet. My life is ruled with stress. My colleagues and myself are, it's sort of a workplace given. It steals your ability to be creative and resourceful, and I know that I can rely on TM to manage stress. I've been practicing Transcendental meditation for over 20 years. I have to admit, when I started, I was a med student, and I literally did not know which way was up. The stress was just overwhelming. And right away, before I even noticed the difference, my classmates found that I was more focused, I was calmer. And it's hard to imagine my life without that. I'm sure I wouldn't be as happy, as successful, or feel as fulfilled as I do without the regular practice of Transcendental meditation.
Practicing Transcendental meditation is a great transition from the intensity of my day to spending the evening with my wife and 4 kids. And makes my evening and my family life enjoyable.
The greatest asset that the regular practice of Transcendental Meditation has added to my marriage, I feel, is the inner strength that's given me myself. Because I am more in touch with the deepest and most quietest parts of my own self, and I bring that to the marriage, and I don't think there's anything better you can bring to marriage.
It just brings a richness to our interaction, a richness to our life, and all our kids practice Transcendental Meditation too, and it creates something that the whole family does together, which is another unifying principle in a world where there's not a lot of unifying principles in family life.
The Transcendental Meditation technique is a simple, natural technique that is practiced sitting comfortably in a chair for 15 to 20 minutes twice a day with the eyes closed. From the outside, the person appears to be just resting. But inside, the individual is using an effortless, easy-to-learn technique which allows the mind and body to come to a completely settled, restfully alert state.
I'm 80 years old, I feel good, and as a result of doing TM twice a day, and it's easy to learn, easy to do, and it just makes you feel better. Health is stronger, mind is sharper, I can get along better with people, better with my family, and I think it's an overall wonderful thing to do.
The Transcendental Meditation technique was first introduced in this country in 1959 by His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Maharishi spent his early life studying with India's greatest Vedic master and has since dedicated himself to restoring this timeless Vedic wisdom. As Maharishi traveled and taught, the benefits of the TM technique began to be enjoyed by people all over the world. Now, over 5 million people have learned the Transcendental Meditation technique.
With Transcendental Meditation, the activity of the mind settles down. And when the activity of the mind settles down, the mind is in the character of unbounded awareness. Unbounded awareness. This is what results from the practice of Transcendental Meditation. Mind quietening down, it quietens down. It's like a wave in the ocean, wave settling down, and settles down. Unbounded, quiet level of the water. So Transcendental Meditation creates this transcendental consciousness.
Maharishi has been honored as the world's leading scientist in the field of consciousness. He has brought to light powerful technologies for the development of consciousness contained in the timeless Ved and Vedic literature. Ved, according to Maharishi, means knowledge, complete knowledge of natural law. Medical doctor and renowned researcher, Professor Tony Nader, discusses his recent discovery of how the description of natural law contained in the Ved is perfectly reflected in the structure and function of human physiology.
Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation develops the full potential of the individual, opens up all the reserves of the brain. And the scientific research has shown that every one of us is really cosmic. The planets, the stars, the moon, the galaxies are all present within us. Every one of us contains the total intelligence of natural law available in the ancient Ved and Vedic literature. This is what makes everyone capable of living a healthy, happy life in perfection.
Well, Transcendental Meditation has allowed me to have much more clarity of mind, much more intensity, much more action-oriented attitude towards life. But at the same time, it's allowed me to be balanced and not do things in an inappropriate manner.
Transcendental Meditation has given me a sort of a pool of calm to draw on as a resource. So I feel that my decisions and my thought process is always backed up by this reservoir.
Research shows that the TM technique produces a significant increase in IQ and learning ability, improved ability to concentrate, better short-term and long-term memory, and enhanced creativity.
Immediately I found I was more rested, calmed down. But there was one incident. We're playing a game on the sidelines, and I'm talking with the other quarterback, Big Al. And I say, gee, I can't believe how calm I feel, how quickly things are coming to my mind, how well oiled I am. I just feel very much in the groove. And Elle and I both agreed that we were better prepared mentally for the things that went on in the football field.
We've seen how the Transcendental Meditation technique develops clearer, more creative thinking. Now we'll explore the wide range of well-documented health benefits. In fact, many medical doctors practice the TM technique themselves and encourage their patients to learn. Dr. Gary Kaplan is a neurologist, clinical neurophysiologist, and educator, and has been recommending the TM technique to his patients for more than 20 years.
There are well-controlled studies now that show that the Transcendental Meditation technique improves many aspects of health. These include reducing hypertension and heart disease, reducing illness in general and hospitalizations, even evidence now for reversal of aging. We know that the mind and body are intimately connected. So when the mind settles down during the Transcendental Meditation technique, the body settles down and gains a level of deep rest. Rest is nature's antidote to stress. So when the mind settles down and gains this deep level of rest, then the body's own inner intelligence is able to restore balance and promote health.
I work 10 to 12 hours a day, and very seldom I take off. But believe it or not, I have not even had a cold in the last 2 years. My teachers asked me, before they even knew anything about me with meditation, asked me, Doc, said, what make you so different now? You're not as hyper. And it's dawned on me. I said, I'm meditating.
Well, as I started practicing TM, it was immediately obvious to me that there were some great benefits, and I felt a lot more relaxed, and I felt the stress reduction almost immediately. A few months later, I went back to the doctor for another checkup and found out, in fact, that both my cholesterol and blood pressure had dropped dramatically, and he said whatever it was I was doing, I should keep it up because it was very effective for my health.
The way that we traditionally treat high blood pressure is through the use of medications, through drugs. And when we prescribe it, we know as doctors that it's generally a life sentence, that the people have to take these drugs for life. And what we now find in the series of studies that appeared in the American Heart Association's journal, Hypertension, found that the Transcendental Meditation technique lowers blood pressure as much as drugs do, but without the serious side effects. Now, this is very welcome news to a doctor because we would love to be able to give something to our patients that work, that don't cause any of these effects that most people experience, and also is effective, and especially when it has so many other side benefits that people feel better in every other way. So it's a very welcome addition to a doctor's armamentarium.
I went to see a doctor around the corner, and he checked me out and took my electrocardiogram, that kind of stuff, and then he told me that I had a problem, that my heart was dying, and that if I don't take care of myself, taking the medicines that he was giving me, he was going to give me, I was going to die in 5 weeks. Simple as that, you know. My state of mind changed. My blood pressure went down, absolutely completely. My blood pressure right now is 140/90, and mainly because I'm meditating.
When I see in the patient this chronic imbalance of stress and strain and stress and strain, I know that they're going to receive benefit from this technique, particularly if they're hypertensive, particularly if they're at risk for vascular disease, particularly if they've already had a heart attack or have ongoing heart problems. I'm very quick to recommend that they look into the Transcendental Meditation technique.
Not all relaxation techniques produce the same result, and I think this is a very important distinction to make, because sometimes people assume that it really doesn't matter what you do with your eyes closed, as long as you have the intention to relax or you do anything in a regular way, it's going to be effective in producing deep rest or reducing hypertension. But that's not the case. And in large-scale statistical meta-analyses, which look at all the studies that have been done, we've seen the same pattern, that the effect of TM on reducing stress, on reducing high blood pressure, is anywhere between 2 and 4 times larger than the effect produced by other forms of meditation and relaxation.
If you went to a doctor and the doctor said, "You're sick, go take a pill. Any pill. It doesn't matter which pill, just take a pill. You wouldn't think much of that physician. Now, if a physician or a health practitioner recommends meditation and they say any meditation, they're all the same, it doesn't matter which one you do. I personally think that that is not sound advice.
A study published in the International Journal of Neuroscience showed that people practicing TM for 5 years or less tested 5 years younger in their biological age, as measured by their near point of vision, their hearing threshold, and their blood pressure. Those people who were practicing TM for more than 5 years tested 12 years younger in their biological age.
Aging is a holistic process, affecting all parts of the body. A survey of research on aging shows that all the parameters which deteriorate with age are reversed with the practice of the Transcendental Meditation technique.
Transcendental meditators have higher levels of DHEAS in their bloodstream. This is an adrenal hormone which is higher in people when they're younger and tends to decline with age. This hormone has protective effects against osteoporosis, cancer, and heart disease. Transcendental meditators have as much as 50% higher levels for their age than other people. And this shows that by doing the mental technique, again, the biochemistry of the body is actually changing. The body is becoming younger.
People who practice the Transcendental Meditation technique, enjoying a clearer mind and better health, naturally find greater happiness, success, and fulfillment in all areas of their lives.
I can't really think of anything else that I've ever done in my life which has given me the ability to grow in myself, to really grow in those qualities of inner confidence, inner silence, that I find helps me do no matter what it is that I want to do. I have a teenager. People tell me that the teenage years are supposed to be difficult years, but my teenage daughter, I've noticed through her regular practice of TM, Transcendental Meditation, and mine, the family as we see it is growing in harmony, is growing in fun, is growing and enjoying being together. Actually, there's no one that we'd rather be with than our daughter, and I think she feels the same way.
When I practice Transcendental Meditation, what I find is that I grow in confidence in who I really am, so that when I'm with my parents, it's just a joy to be together. We have such a great relationship because they're completely confident in who they are, and so am I. So we're both meeting to give, and we're both meeting with happiness.
I've felt like it's been a great benefit in my life, and especially as a mother now, because I know that after I meditate, it's so much easier to be really, really there for him and just completely giving and nourishing, because I've nourished myself in really the deepest way. It's really wonderful.
I was looking for something to make me not have hatred, jealousy, anger, all these things. And when I learned TM, it was like all of a sudden I just noticed I'm not jealous anymore, and I'm not, I rarely get angry anymore, and when I do, it just goes by very quickly. I experience this quietness every day, and it's so simple and so effortless, and it only takes 20 minutes, and then the rest of my day is wonderful.
When I meditate and then perform a religious ritual, lead a service, or just do private prayer, that the experience is enhanced tremendously by the fact that I have prepared in this way of allowing the mind to settle down and the body to relieve itself of stress.
Many very deeply religious people have learned the Transcendental Meditation technique and found no conflict at all with their religious beliefs. Transcendental meditation is just a technique. It's a technique for inner awakening, and it's very enriching to religious life. It's very enriching to every aspect of life.
Several of the sisters in my own community began Transcendental Meditation just a few months ago, and primarily because they saw the changes in me, and they asked, what is this meditation about, and can I learn? And in fact they did, and they've all been very happy.
TM, just because it gives you that inner nourishment, that inner rest, which you really can't get a lot of places, it helps you so much to come back to the self. I think it really helps, just gets really settled and quiet within yourself, which helps you in any intense situation.
employees practicing this technique become more settled from within, and that leads them to be more creative, more orderly in their thinking, more productive, and that translates to a bottom line of greater success for the organization.
I've read a lot of management books of how to improve business performance. I've been to a lot of different business seminars and consultants that know how to, so to speak, improve your business. And in everything that I've heard and everything I've read, nothing has shown me the effectiveness that the Transcendental Meditation has given to me. And for that reason, I've offered it to my other executives.
I can't imagine someone in a position of high responsibility without this tool, without this ability to completely quiet the mind, completely quiet the body. Just wash away all the stresses and the pressures and just become deeply, deeply silent within, physically, mentally, emotionally. That has enormous value.
Every business person can use Transcendental Meditation, whether they're operating a small shop or whether they're operating a multinational corporation. Each one of these individuals has to think on their feet. They have to be adaptable, flexible. They have to be able to purify their organization and rebuild and make changes. They have to be able to deal with things that come at them on the fly. And TM will give you the clarity, energy, and intelligence, as well as the adaptability to deal with all these situations.
Each one of us is affected by our environment. But did you know that we also help create that environment? In 1993, 4,000 practitioners of the TM technique gathered in Washington, D.C. to demonstrate that collectively they could create a positive atmosphere in the whole city to improve the quality of life for everyone. Dr. John Hagelin, director of the Institute of Science, Technology, and Public Policy at Maharishi University of Management, was the principal organizer of this assembly.
We predicted in advance of the experiment a 20% drop in violent crime, and indeed what we found in July, when the numbers were largest, an 18% drop in violent crime. Rehabilitation in the prisons has not been that effective. It is far better to create an environment in which our youth can think more clearly and can make decisions that are more productive for themselves and for society.
When he first began teaching the Transcendental Meditation technique, Maharishi predicted that as individuals quietly improved their own quality of life, harmony and coherence would grow in society as a whole. He emphasized that this is a natural result of individuals developing their full potential and enjoying higher states of consciousness or enlightenment in their own lives.
So I made a phrase as the target of the world movement, heaven on earth. Bring everything that may be good for all the people in the world. And what is that all which is good for all the people? Happiness, progress, prosperity, wealth, good health, clear mind, all these things together, blossoming in life, create heaven for the individual. So the procedure is the same, transcendental meditation, but when great number of the people begin to practice, then they create a collective betterment of life. So heaven on earth. We want to create heaven on earth, all good to everyone and non-good to no one.
On this program, we've heard from people from all walks of life: doctors, mothers, students, business professionals, religious people, retired people, all of whom have found exceptional value from the Transcendental Meditation technique. In the midst of our busy lives, there's a great value in taking a few minutes every day to reconnect with the quiet reservoir of natural law within each of us. It's been a great pleasure to introduce you to this wonderful technique, and I hope you don't hesitate to find out all you can about it.
As science and technology change our world with incredible speed, now more than ever before, we need relief from stress, better health, clearer, more creative thinking, and greater happiness. Research has shown that the Transcendental meditation technique is 2 to 4 times more effective than other techniques for reducing stress. The Transcendental meditation technique restores the connection between the individual and nature's intelligence, awakening one's total potential. Unlike learning meditation from a book or video, the TM technique is taught one-on-one with a trained, highly qualified teacher. With a teacher, you can learn at your own pace and be assured of enjoying the benefits right from the start. Call toll-free 1-888-LEARN-TM to find out how to learn more about the Transcendental meditation technique at a location near you.
The fact that you can do one thing that improves every other aspect of your life is something which never ceases to amaze me. I'm very busy, I travel a lot, and yet I can always find 20 minutes twice a day to sit, close the eyes, and meditate, and I find that I've got twice as much energy, I'm more refreshed.
Research has shown that people who meditate are more likely just to live healthier lives. They don't actually try to do that, but they spontaneously just don't smoke as much or drink as much alcohol.
I know, because I have had the experience, that that's what you've got to do. You just got to go out and learn it, and then you won't be disappointed.
My colleagues and myself think nothing about, spending several $100s a year at a health club or taking vitamin supplements. And I guess I would say this is easier, it's simpler, it's more reliable, and why live without it?